Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So I'm going to change things up. I'm always changing things up. So I'm going to start doing some true crime stories. And not all my videos are going to be about true crime. I'm going to do some silly videos and fun videos, but I also want to start doing at least a couple a month of true crime. So my first true crime story that I want to tell you is extremely personal. Back in the 90s, I was seeing a guy named Greg Miller. He kind of looked like Weird Al. He had the hair, the mustache, he wore the glasses, and anyway, there used to be a whole group of us that used to go clubbing, hang out together and whatnot. So this guy named Keith, who happened to be my ex-boyfriend, but a friend of Greg's as well. It was a small town. Everybody kind of knew everybody. So back in February of 1991, I was living with my parents. I had just bought a new car and was saving to get a place of my own. And my parents didn't like the fact that every weekend I would be out partying with my friends. So they made me agree to go to rehab as long as I wanted to stay living there with them. I agreed, and so they stuck me in a place called Serenity Lane, and that was down in Eugene, Oregon. Not far from Albany. And it was a 30-day inpatient care program, whatever. So while I was there, I got a phone call from Keith. And he's, of course, the hi, hey, how you doing? And then he's like, I just wanted to call and tell you how sorry I am about Greg. And I'm like, what are you talking about? What are you sorry about? What's going on? He's like, oh, nobody told you. I'm like, told me what? What are you talking about? He's like, honey, are you sitting down? I'm like, yeah, of course. What? Spit it out. What? And he goes, they found Greg's body in the river. And I lost it. I was hysterical. Greg and I had broke up for a little while and had just got back together. And we were talking about getting married. So, anyway, I'm hysterical. I get off the phone with Keith, and they had to sedate me. There was no calming me down. And so I slept through the night, and the next day when I got up, I called Greg's mom to find out exactly what happened or what was going on, and to tell her how sorry I was. And so she said all she knew was that somebody had found Greg by the boat ramp at a park between Albany and Corvallis. And so, other than that, she didn't know anything else. And she told me, well, Greg's service is going to be on March 1st. Yeah, which happened to be my birthday. So anyway, Serenity Lane was not going to let me leave to go to my own boyfriend's funeral. So I called my mom, and she called and threatened with a lawyer. And she basically said, how can you keep somebody there against their will when they obviously need to go to their loved one's funeral? So I had to sign papers that I would stay clean and sober while I was gone if they released me. And at that time, I was willing to do anything to leave. And so I signed the papers. They released me. My mom and dad came and picked me up. Greg had gone out clubbing with some of his friends. And they had went from Albany, Oregon. There was a truck stop that also had a lounge, and a lot of times we would go there, but usually that was our last stop because at the truck stop they also had the restaurant. And so that was our last stop. You know, when the bars closed, then we'd go and sit down and eat. But he had disappeared. Well, he had gone from the TNR truck stop in Albany to Corvallis to another club called the Toy Inn, which was another club that we would go to. And that was the last place anybody had seen Greg alive. Now, the strange thing is, Greg wore glasses, and he could not drive without his glasses. He was blind as a bat without them. His glasses were found at the truck stop. His truck had disappeared. Nobody, they still to this day have not found his pickup truck, which is a little Datsun, SR5 little red pickup. So his truck came up missing. His wallet was gone, and nobody knew what had happened to him. He was just, out clubbing, and the next day they find him in the river. To this day, still has not been solved. While I was in Serenity Lane, I had a couple detectives come and ask me a bunch of questions about Greg, about his friends, about his habits, and this and that. And that was hard. That was really hard to answer their questions. But, yeah, there's no leads. Nobody knows anything. Just that he was murdered. He was in the river. It's a hard one to talk about. You learn to go on, but it doesn't make it any easier to talk about. Greg was a great guy. Everybody loved him. Everybody cared about him. He was funny. He was fun to be around. I'm going to give you guys some more true crime, and I promise I'll do better. I'll go into more detail. There wasn't a whole lot of detail about this case. All they know is that he was murdered. So, anyway, my next true crime story I'll share with you is also very, very personal. I had foster siblings. My parents took in foster kids. And my foster sister, her name is Sharon Hiller. And she was found murdered in Eugene, also in the 90s. But anyway, I'm not going to tell you much about that one until next time. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so. Give me a thumbs up. And until next time, happy nightmares.